Hi guys, good morning from Bavaria. Yes, it's absolutely possible to get your body fat to 10% over the age of 40. Absolutely doable. I'm 58 years of age and my body fat currently is around about 11%, but we're just coming off the back of the Christmas festivities and the New Year. Normally my body fat's around about 10%, and that's the average throughout the year. So it is totally possible. You know, there's this kind of myth that once you get over 40, that's the end of it. You know, it's a downward spiral all the way from there. There's no chance. You've got to get the slippers and the pipe out, and that's it. Give up. You've had your life. Too late. Absolute nonsense. You can maintain your athletic performance. You can maintain aesthetics. You can be healthy and fit and vibrant and have lots of energy, and you can certainly have low body fat levels well into your older years. It's just a case of actually having the mindset to do it, and of course having the discipline to apply the techniques that are going to get you there, and then of course not only get there but actually maintain that over time as well. There's no one magic formula for achieving those kind of results. You know, it's not. This is what people are always looking for. They're looking for the magic pill. They're looking for the magic exercise, or the magic mantra that you can use to get you to a certain goal that you might have. There isn't one, but there is one word for sure that kind of embraces the attitude and the discipline that you've got to apply to get to those levels, and that is consistency. Consistency is the key, and consistency of applying the lifestyle choices that you make to achieve that goal. So what are we looking at? We're looking at nutrition, we're looking at physical exercise, we're looking at lifestyle choices, and we're looking at rest. And when you put all these factors together and apply consistency to them in the right way, you can get the results. And that's what I like to do with my clients, is make sure that I can get people to optimum health and fitness and the happiness and the life-fulfilling lifestyle that you get from that. There'll be lots of videos coming on the channel, guys, talking about these various techniques and so forth. So, you know, if you want to hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you don't miss anything, I can give you as much information on this channel as possible. So, I mean, with regards to diet, Plant-Powered Fitness Munich, you know, by the nature of the name, I am plant-based in terms of my diet. It doesn't mean that you have to be in order to get to very low body fat levels at any age. You can achieve that on various different diets, but it's certainly something that I would promote as being a healthy option in terms of your choices. I've noticed massive benefits from going plant-based: reduced cholesterol, reduced blood pressure, increase in energy, and enthusiasm generally for life has come off of the back of making that switch. And again, we'll be talking about that more in the future. And of course on the channel, if you look, you can see that my wife Veronica has put up videos as well, showing you some of the dishes, from some of the very tasty dishes that you can have if you're plant-based. It doesn't have to be perjury to go plant-based, guys, for sure. Trust me, I have a more varied diet now and a more enjoyable dietary intake on a daily basis than I ever did before since going plant-based. So it's something that I don't like to force on people, but certainly I try to encourage people to go that way. And if they're interested and come and ask me about it, then I'm more than happy to talk about it. But I don't like to bang on about it too much, because I realise that people are on their own journey. Exercise is the next step, and again, it's something that everybody is different. Everybody has their own metabolism, their own genetic makeup, and it very much is experimental to find what is right for you, that's going to work to get you to the goals of having a very low body fat percentage. There are other mitigating circumstances as well, and when you look at age as an example, because we are talking about getting to 10% body fat in your 50s, you know, you've got to bear in mind that as you get older, you need more rest, you need more time to recover. So what I try to encourage my clients over the years, in the past and currently, is to make sure that your rest takes as much of a priority as your training itself. If you don't have the rest to complement the training, you're going to end up running yourself down, body gets out of sync, hormones are thrown all over the place, and you won't get to your goals. Better to have, as you get older, it's better to have a little bit too much rest than too little. That's for sure. Maybe when you're younger you can get away a little bit with pushing the envelope when it comes to your training, but as you get older you want to make sure that the rest almost takes priority over the training, which for a lot of older people sounds like pretty good news, because it basically means you have to train less. But it doesn't mean that the quality of your training drops. In fact, if anything, as you get older, the training, there has to be much more focus on quality rather than quantity. And again, this is something that I take people through if I take them on as clients, to try and get the right workout with the right exercises, taking into account conditions that you get as you get older, etc. And developing exercises that prevent you from getting conditions that you might get when you're older as well. So exercise is very, very important. Something that I've used over the last few years, which has been very beneficial in terms of getting body fat down, is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is where basically you have a fasting protocol, and there are a number of them. The one that I've been using in the past is pretty much an 18-6 protocol. So that's 18 hours of fasting with a 6-hour window where you take in all your calories. And you can choose the protocol that you're going to use, and then you can choose to suit your lifestyle when your eating window is going to be. So some people like to fast in the morning until lunchtime, say for instance. Other people like to have their last meal around about lunchtime on any given day and then fast through to breakfast the following day. It depends. There's a lot of information out there, guys, about the various intermittent fasting protocols, but the latest news that I've seen about it is that now it's generally accepted through studies that the most beneficial fast is where you have your last meal at lunchtime on any given day, as I just mentioned, and fast through to the following morning, have your breakfast, and your eating window is from breakfast until the next lunchtime, 6 hours. So that pretty much ties in with how a lot of continentals actually go about their dietary intake. Here in Germany, say for instance, it's not that unusual for the main meal of the day to be at lunchtime and then just a snack in the evening. So what you'd be doing is, if you were following this fasting protocol, you just cut out the snack in the evening, basically have your main meal at lunchtime and carry on from there. I went for a period where I intermittent fasted for around about a year at one point, and I lost a lot of weight. The only thing is that I found that by the end of it I was getting a little bit tired of it, feeling a little bit run down, and I found that it wasn't serving me after that period of time. So what I tend to do now is actually employ intermittent fasting only occasionally. So I do intermittent fasting intermittently, if you like. So for instance, to give an example, a good time to do it would be after the Christmas period. Like now, we're in the new year. You've overindulged during the new year, put a little bit of weight on. Most people put a few kilos on over Christmas, and then a great way to offset that is to go into an intermittent fast, maybe for 2 or 3 weeks, going into January, mid-January into February. So around about now would be a good time to do it. But make sure you research it thoroughly first. There's a lot of info out there. I don't want to throw lots of graphs and statistics and things at people. Especially this time during the COVID-19 situation, I think everybody's a bit sick of graphs and tables and so forth. It's all out there if you want to find it, guys, and I think people tend to be more committed if they find the information for themselves. What I do on here is basically give my experiences, but I can always point people in the right direction if you're interested. As I've mentioned already, rest is very, very important. Oh yeah, another factor that I found has made a big difference in terms of maintaining low body fat is giving up alcohol. I made a video a few months back on the channel about my journey on giving up alcohol. I've been alcohol free now for just over 2 years. I gave up on December the 29th, 2018, so it's just over 2 years now. And what I found is that since giving up alcohol, I really have been able to maintain that low body fat level. Probably the biggest factor, actually, it's been. Because, firstly, I mean, with alcohol, you can't underestimate the amount of calories that you've got in beer and wine and so forth. So if you drink those substances on a regular basis, you're having quite a lot more calories than you probably need. And also the effect that drinking alcohol has on your system generally in terms of blood sugar. It tends to throw your blood sugar all over the place. So your dietary intake for your food tends to be affected if you drink too much as well. I mean, I always used to find this when I was drinking. After an evening of having a night out with lots to drink and so forth, I'd find the following day I'd be eating everything going, you know. I wouldn't be able to satisfy my hunger because the blood sugar was all over the place. The alcohol, which is basically sugar, would spike the blood sugar right up. The following day, your body is constantly trying to stabilize that blood sugar, and that's where the food cravings come from. So obviously when you've got food cravings, there's more of a likelihood that you're going to choose options that aren't good for you. And I would get myself into this situation whereby I could not satisfy my hunger after drinking. It was just constant eating. Since giving up alcohol, that issue isn't an issue anymore. So, you know, alcohol has been massive. But, you know, it's a lot to take on, guys, especially if you're somebody who socialises around drinking, you know, to try and lose a little bit of weight and get into a fitness routine and give up alcohol as well. It can all be very, very challenging. So as I've said on previous videos as well, the best way to approach this is to go one step at a time. That's very, very important. You know, the fundamental issue here when it comes to getting health and fitness generally, but if you're going for aesthetics, to get down to 10% body fat as well, the first thing to address before anything else is diet. That's what you've got to look at. So getting your diet sorted out is the first thing. Again, I don't like to go into calories and counting numbers and things like that, because the bottom line is the reason that people are overweight is because they can't be bothered to do all of that. They don't want to have the hassle every time they feel like eating something of counting how many calories are on the plate. It's got to become an intuitive thing. The old rule stands the test of time. Calories in, calories out. If you eat more calories than you burn, you're going to put weight on. So what I encourage people to do generally is just reduce, especially if you're in a situation where you're overweight, is to just basically reduce everything a little bit. Reduce everything a little bit. Every meal, intuitively, as you're putting the portion onto the plate, make a conscious effort to put less on there than you normally would. And that goes for every meal that you have. If you've got a habit of jumping into the bakery and buying yourself a cake every now and again as a treat, all right, it might be hard at first, but cut that treat out. Cut it out, because that's what will make all the difference. Treat yourself to something else. Create a new trigger. Rather than the cake in the bakery being the thing that gives you pleasure, say to yourself, no, I'm not going to do that. When I get home, I'm going to listen to some of my favourite music. I'm going to put my favourite 3 tracks on. And let that become your new reward, if you like, instead of actually rewarding yourself for whatever it is with some kind of negative food choice. Again, I'll be talking about all these strategies in later videos, but these are the fundamentals, guys, for keeping down to a very low body fat. So just to recap on it again, consistency. Consistency in everything that you apply is absolutely key. If you only keep something going for 2 weeks, it ain't going to work. It's got to be, you know, you're looking at a 2-year project. You're not looking at a 2-month project here. Consistency in diet, physical training, rest, and if you can as well, giving up alcohol. If you can't give up alcohol at all, again, you know, it's a gradual process. Same as with food, make a conscious effort to cut down, at least, and then go from there. You've got to be really ready to want to do it before you can do it. And I know that because I've been on the journey myself. Although I'm, you know, 10% body fat now and very fit for my age, it's something that's happened over time. You know, it's not been a It's not just I've got lucky genes or anything like that and I've been able to do it. This has been a journey. I've gone through periods in my life when I've really let it go. You know, I've drank too much, partied too much, eaten the wrong foods, an attitude to life that sucks. I've been there, I've done all that. So it's not like I'm speaking from a position of privilege and it's easy for you to say you're already there kind of thing. It's been a journey to get here, and it's a journey for you as well. But you've got to start somewhere. And this is what personal training is all about. You know, it's to kickstart people and to make people accountable for the choices and so forth that they're making. But it's absolutely doable. I'll cut it off there, guys, because we're 15 minutes in already. You've probably got the idea I could go on about this all day because I'm passionate about it. But as I say, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll be throwing lots more videos into the channel that hopefully can help you on this journey. So make sure you don't miss out on anything. Okay, remember the old saying, keep moving forwards, onwards and upwards, and I'll see you on the next video.